Podketeers.
Rice-a-roni, the San Francisco treat. Used to be the jingle for it.
Mm-hmm.
You remember that? Or are you too young for that?
I think I knew the words Rice-a-roni, the San Francisco treat, but I know it from the Weird Al song I Lost on Jeopardy.
That's funny.
Because they have Don Pardo doing it. It's like, you lost! You don't get a lousy copy of our home game. You don't get your supply of Rice-a-roni, the San Francisco treat.
Nice.
You're a complete loser.
Nice. Rice-a-roni. It's going to make me hungry.
Rice-a-roni,
Right.
jabroni.
Yeah.
I don't remember
You
what
want
rice.
to know
jabroni
what
is.
food thing opened that I'm like,
Tell me.
And I think it's slightly closer than
okay.
the original one. Randy's Donuts. I don't know if you're familiar with it, but Randy's Donuts, for those that don't know, is a famous franchise or like a famous donut place that's in LA. It was made famous in the Iron Man movie when Iron Man was just chilling on the big donut.
He's got a big
eating his
donut,
donuts.
and then like they do like a copy, like a thing in like Zootopia where there's like the donuts.
Yes.
But it's
Yep.
little.
There's also in The Simpsons, there's Lard
Yep.
Lad, but they got
Lard
like the
Lad.
big person, you know.
and he's kind
It's
of like
just a huge donut.
like Big Boy and Randy's Donuts, right? Combo.
Yes,
Lard
he's
Lad.
kind of a combo
Yeah.
of it, yeah. So Randy's Donuts opened up a new location at Anaheim Packing House last week.
I don't know what that is.
Anaheim
I
Packing
do.
House is this like this utopia of food
Yeah.
in the middle of Anaheim.
It's like a food mall.
Yeah,
A
it's
food mall.
got
Sounds
so
great.
much yumminess and deliciousness and
It's diverse
things
too.
to eat. It's so good. There's so many great things to eat there. I'm pretty happy that I want to say that it's closer. But if I ever did want Randy's Donuts, I would probably end up going to that one because traffic to LA is
Ugh.
horrible, especially
Yep.
down the 405 freeway. Anything that would get me to Randy's Donuts is absolutely horrendous. So going to the packing house in Anaheim is a much easier drive if I wanted something from Randy's. I will say, though, that I want to give props to Donut Man in Glendora, California. They are much closer to where we are. And they also have some delightful
They do.
donut
And
treats.
strawberries.
Yeah. Yeah. They make these like strawberry seasonal donuts. They have some peach seasonal donuts. They're really well known for their tiger tails and stuff. I want a donut. Can you tell? I want a donut now. It doesn't, yeah, it won't agree with me, but I feel like I need a donut in my life right now.
You know what? As long as you have a bathroom available.
Maybe,
Hey.
I know, I just, I feel like I need a donut in my life. Hey, so I talked to Jason briefly about potentially joining us for the next Disney game. He's totally down for it.
Nice.
Hey.
Especially after we had talked about making it a monthly thing. I think that's going to be pretty exciting. I'm pretty psyched about it. I have some
more work for me.
ideas. Well, I mean, I have some ideas for some other stuff that I think we could do as well. So we can alternate. Maybe it won't be monthly, but it'll be like every other month if we
I can
alternate
do it
these different
monthly.
games
Yeah, we
and
can
stuff like that.
alternate.
So, yeah, there's a couple of ideas that I'm playing around with right now that I think would be super fun.
I came up with another idea too.
What is this one?
Ooh.
I don't have a great name on it. It would just be like I don't know. Basically, the Disney Wiki game or the Disney fandom game, or so. If you ever, I have to go on this Disney Wiki all the dang time for Quizneyland trying to like find information and stuff. It's a very good resource.
Fandom.wiki.com/Disney/this is the actual site.org/it is long but it's okay.com.
That's the one.
Nice.
Yeah.
Got it.
But on there, like if you go to like a character, they have character information, and sometimes these are just filled in by people, and so they're just like, they have options. They're like, I guess I'll put something in here. So, like, for an example, I'll pull up one here, and we'll see if you can guess it. We'll do a little mini one right now.
Oh, all right.
So I'll have character information. So we have powers and abilities, brute strength,
Hercules,
incredible swimming speed. That's not
Ariel.
Hercules. Not Ariel.
The Little Mermaid.
You know, brute strength is one of her powers. Dislike, smoke, sneezing, and losing prey.
Prey.
Smoke.
Ursula.
Not Ursula. Likes eating, sleeping, and fish.
Sounds like me.
Nemo.
Not Nemo.
That time that Nemo used his brute strength to move
An
Mount
incredible swimming
Wanahakalugi was like, wow.
And his incredible swimming speed. Home, the sea.
That narrows it down. Hold on a second. Let me see.
An occupation.
Sebastian.
Predator is the
Bruce.
occupation. Bruce? And it's not Bruce.
Oh.
Yeah, he dislikes.
Fish are our friends
He
after
dislikes
all.
sneezing, and we know this because it happens in the movie.
My brain's broken. Hold on.
Right?
What's happening?
What?
Mine's too.
What underwater creature sneezes?
Chili Willy.
That's a Disney character. And Chili Willy's not an underwater character.
But in
That's
the
a
song,
penguin.
he goes, ah-ee-ah-choo.
My brain's not working.
My brain's not
okay,
working right
let's
now
see.
either.
Based on so these are voice or here. Let me go. So this character has 2 pages. Let's see if they have anything different. Nope, they have exactly that. Other names: Blubbermouth, Big Moose, voice Thurl Ravenscroft in the original film, and Fred Tastascore in the remake. So this film has a remake. Inspiration: Moby Dick, the giant fish from the story of Jonah.
Monstro?
Monstro is the answer.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know.
Wow.
It's these. Here's another one. We'll just do this really quick, and if you don't get it real quick, I'll just give you powers and abilities.
Hercules.
Spiritual corruption, pyrokinesis, superhuman strength, superhuman endurance, superhuman stamina, necromancy, immortality.
Hades.
Dislikes goodness, light, especially
Facilier.
sunlight, the church bells, justice.
Frollo.
Likes evil, darkness, war, chaos, night, fire, shadows, sin, hatred, fear,
Hades.
despair. It's none of those. I would have said death, torture, greed,
Wow.
injustice. He likes all these things.
Sounds like a bad
he's
guy.
Bad guy. I'd probably
Like
say
the
the
life
baddest,
of the party, I guess.
like the
Right.
baddest guy. Voice Corey Burton.
Oh.
That could be anything.
Yeah. That's like, that narrows it down
Here,
to at least 200 voices.
You might know this little bit of trivia if I say this. Performance model Bella Lugosi. Oh, I guess you don't know that weird
I
little bit of
do.
trivia. Oh, you do?
Dracula
Who that
from Hotel Transylvania. I don't say
That's
blah, blah,
like-
blah. Bela Lugosi. Good golly.
Okay. Home, Bald Mountain.
Oh.
Chernobog.
It is the
Yeah.
Chernobog.
Wow. I
Bela
wouldn't-
Lugosi was the model for Chernobog?
Yeah, there's like a video you can watch of like
I
him
didn't know
doing
that.
the,
I had no
the
idea.
hand thing and stuff. Yeah,
All
it's,
I'm thinking is Dracula. And I'm
interesting.
like, who's close to Dracula? I don't know.
Right. That's cool. I just learned something. I didn't know Chernobog was modeled after Bela Lugosi.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's
so
cool.
yeah, so that's something I'm working on. It, I just picked 2 characters that I thought had funny character descriptions. They're all kind of weird and stuff. So I don't know. Maybe we'll work on that and see what happens.
I am for this game.
Yeah, it makes
I
us
like
think.
it. I do want to play when I'm a little bit more alert, a
Sure,
little bit more awake.
Yes.
And I haven't spent the last 3 days with a migraine. I think that would be the optimal way to play.
Right. Then you can be like,
Yep.
boom.
Yep.
No, I'm tired of this, Grandpa. Stop with the
As
boom.
to Ramban!
Yeah, those. I'm not a fan of the Costco things, guys.
And me
with
neither.
the
I just
boom
think that
and the-
one video is funny. Because there's a guy that like voices over it, doing the impressions of the. It's like, hello, my name is the guy, and I eat the Costco. That's what he sounds like, right? The giant from Mickey and the Beanstalk.
for making the. That's awesome.
Hey, everybody. I like to eat the food. Mickey Mouse. You gonna?
I've never seen it. You're gonna have to send it to me.
He doesn't do that voice. I just think that voice that's what he sounds like, right? I'm gonna
That's
eat
funny.
Costco. What
Yeah,
are you doing
those-
over there?
You know what's funny? I mean, it's funny to me, but it's probably not funny to anybody else. Only because I'm a wrestling fan. But those Costco guys apparently got so big off of that shtick that they did with
They go like,
with
Costco's good.
boom, and they take
Yeah.
a bite and then boom, whatever. Right?
Boom! Yay!
And listen, more power to you. If you can get over with that same thing over and over, more power to you. But the other wrestling company that's trying to compete with WWE right now, much smaller company, apparently hired the older guy in the video because I don't know if it was like his dream to be a wrestler or something like that. I read like a brief article from like whatever like popped up in my Google feed, but he wrestled or fought in like their last pay-per-view, and it was like a big thing. I was like, can I be a wrestler if I get like
Famous enough?
on TikTok?
Probably.
What? I can do this?
You can
like,
jump
on
off
a
the-
How
live
much are they paying?
stage? I don't know.
Just like give a guy like a clothesline and like hit him with a chair kind of thing.
I'll do it.
Yeah.
I'd totally be into that. That
You
was
just have to
like,
get a catchphrase. You got to come up with a boom or whatever.
not boom.
Yeah, not boom. Gotta be like, Emerald.
Chomp.
Chomp. Ka-chigga. Ka-chigga. Ka-chigga.
It's like, who's this old guy? Well, you know what comes right after lightning?
Well,
or
before
before
lightning.
lightning.
Thunder. He
That'll
did
be
what
my
in his
thing.
cup? That's my favorite joke in the Cars movies.
The cup one?
He did what in his cup? Yeah.
Let's see. It's been a week again, and
It's been a week
things
again.
are. I don't think things are getting. I hate to use the word normal when anything like this happens because they don't feel normal. Basically, you know, they feel familiar. I think is a better way to state it.
It's like a
And-
deja vu.
Yeah. But in LA this week, we're expecting some rain finally. So it looks like it's going to help with some of the fires. And I know people are still looking into, housing and donations and stuff. So we're going to keep the links that we've had up there the last couple of weeks going so that if you're looking for a place to donate, if you're looking for a way to help, that's where you can go. Podketeers.com/links is where you're going to find that information. Just scroll down a little bit. You'll find the California Fire link section on that page. But yeah, the rain is going to be good overall in trying to, mitigate some of the challenges that the firefighters have been having over the last few weeks. So looking forward to the rain. Let's see. Some
Blame
news
it
came out
on
of
the
Disneyland
rain.
that we're going to be talking about later. It was a little bit of a corporate shakeup, as some people are calling it. We'll talk about that.
Boom.
Looks like Muppet 3D Vision. is
Muppet Vision
closing.
3D.
Yeah. What did I call it? 3D
Muppet
Vision?
3D Vision. It's fine.
Muppet Vision 3D finally has a closing date at Walt Disney World.
Sad face. And I think the whole Muppet area, I think in general.
Oh, the whole thing?
Yeah, I think it's the whole, like, the Rizzo, the pizza restaurant, and I think
the pizza?
Yeah. It's Rat Pizza, that one. Yeah.
Man. Yeah, I never had the opportunity to visit. I haven't even gone to Disney World, but obviously
we're gonna change that, Heyzen. We're gonna go together one of these days.
Okay.
We're
taking a train, right? We're taking the Hogwarts Express.
Hey, we can
I've
take a
never
train.
taken a train.
Let's
so
drive.
hey.
We can switch off. Let's do
We'll
road
make it a
trip.
summer vlog road trip to Disney World.
We'll go to Dollywood and we'll go to Disney World.
Can we stop at Dollywood?
It's in Tennessee. I mean, it's on the East Coast. We can go to.
It's just a little detour.
We can go
Just
to
a little detour.
we can
It's
go
still
to-
good. It's
yeah.
still good.
We can go to Branson.
What's in Branson?
I don't know stuff.
Barbecue?
Missouri. I don't know what I got at Branson.
What do they got in
Stuff.
Branson?
I don't know something.
Museum?
Probably. What's in Branson? It's like a
Can
big.
we go? Can we go to Ohio so we can go to Cleveland?
Cleveland rocks, man.
Cleveland does rock. Where do they make the playing cards? Is that in Kentucky now? I think that's in Kentucky.
That would not be a question for me. That would be a question for
They used
someone
to be
named
in Cincinnati.
Heyzen.
They used
Like
to be in
the
Cincinnati.
bicycle
I think they're
factory?
doing it. Yeah, I think they're in Kentucky now. They used to be in Cincinnati.
Let's see. Not bicycles, Google. Where are bicycle playing cars manufactured? El Ranger, Kentucky.
Oh, yeah. Can
I'm
we
sure
go there? Erlanger.
That's right, it's in Erlanger. I tell you what, we're in Kentucky. Yeah, you gotta say it with Erlanger.
Yeah. I heard they got good chicken there. Is that true?
Ask
Good
the
fried
Colonel.
chicken?
I know a Colonel guy over there in Kentucky.
You know that? Okay, so on TikTok,
Are you talking about
there's,
the Colonel's grandson or whatever? And
Yes.
The family's
Have
all
you seen
mad
it
about it
before?
or whatever. Yeah.
have you seen this?
He was
Oh.
like, "This is the uniform of all Kentucky colonels, and
Yeah.
people are saying that I am, like trying to be him." He's like, "No, this is like my family heritage and something." Yeah, I don't know. It's nuts.
No, I mean, that's the gist of it.
Yeah.
So there's this guy, Mel. I guess he's like fourth or fifth generation at this point, dresses up like Colonel Sanders, and he's been trying to get Kentucky Fried Chicken to make him the new colonel, right? Because he's like in the lineage of the family. And people are angry. The company's angry at him because they bought the rights to the imagery of Colonel Sanders, the
Harlan
name.
Sanders, the
Yeah.
guy. Yeah.
Oh.
But he's been trying to like become the face of it. Because I guess what they've been doing with the name and the image and the like everything about it, the legacy, they're just kind of, he feels that they're trashing it, right? That's, I'm kind of paraphrasing what he's been posting about. But he's had this whole campaign about becoming the next colonel, dresses up in the white suit with like the little black tie and everything. And I guess he became the mascot for the other chicken family franchise for a while. I don't remember what it's called. Lou's or Louis Chicken or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, apparently it's like this big thing, and I think the last I heard was that he finally had some kind of conversation with KFC about it. I don't know why I'm so
Wow.
excited about it and like fried chicken, but it's a crazy story to
It
say the
is.
least. It's just a
Sounds
crazy
like
story.
it.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, so last week we talked about the Mansion Bride that premiered at Disneyland.
Dun, 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 dun.
Wouldn't you know that people on the internet are not happy with the new bride?
I mean, I haven't seen it, but I don't put it past the internet to be mad about something. They're always mad about something.
All right.
Yeah.
What do they have to
So-
say?
I was reading a few comments, and there's been a few articles about it as well. I'll just quickly paraphrase them by saying that they feel that Imagineering is kind of off their game with some of the stuff that they've been doing. That it feels like they didn't really try with the bride. That it's just kind of like the bare minimum, so to speak. But I feel like we talked about that and we addressed that when we talked about the bride appearing, because we've also addressed it with the new shop that they added outside of the Haunted Mansion, right? We talked about the potential pressure that they're under in trying to execute this thing that either the resort or somebody higher than them is asking for, in the time frame that they're asking for it. And obviously, if they don't have the resources monetarily or the time to fully design something the way that Imagineering is used to doing it, we get stuff like the shop outside of the Haunted Mansion.
Madame Leota's carriage house or whatever the heck it's called?
Yes. What is it called? Leota's what?
I don't know.
I know it has an actual name.
Somewhere Beyond?
Somewhere Beyond. Yeah. So, I mean, the primary criticism that people have about the bride is that it just looks kind of generic. And I think the only argument, or the only thing I've heard people or seen people post and heard people talk about that I agree with, and Andrew, you agree with this when we talked about it as well, is that it wasn't a full-blown animatronic. That they've been doing some really amazing things with animatronics recently that maybe they could have pulled something off that just looks absolutely spectacular. Would we have gotten a full-blown Pepper's Ghost effect? Probably not, because like you said in the last episode, there just isn't the space in that little like nook that they have the bride in, right? But when I looked at the videos that people were posting and the preview video that we saw, I don't know, maybe it's just a fan in me that's really hopeful about what we're seeing about the bride or what we're potentially going to see, that I feel like this is like the base of what we're going to see. Like, I do feel like we're going to see additional effects. I hope I'm not wrong on this one, because the setup feels like it can be changed the way that they do with other projections and with other types of effects that are built similarly, you know?
Right.
So, I mean, I don't know. Like, what do you think? Am I reaching on that one, or like, where do you stand on this argument people are having about it?
I mean, people can complain. Like, that's all the internet does. I mean, I do it too. It's fine. I'm watching some videos right now, and I'm like trying to again piece together, because some more high quality videos have come out from people, and you know, it's hard to tell in person or in video versus in person, but I believe that there is a lot of stuff going on here that folks might not realize is actually going on. So if you excuse me, if you look at the videos, and if you see it in person, like, for one, the bride is floating, and that's kind of like one of the big effects that I think people aren't like realizing is an achievement in itself. And I'm looking at some of these videos, you know, 4K, it's all zoomed in and stuff. So from what I can tell, the candelabra itself is a physical prop, and the dress itself is a physical dress. The face is a projection, and then there's all this other like ethereal projections that look like they're just floating in air, which is kind of like amazing. And they're using some projection technology and like you know, basically invisible projection screens. But some of the other stuff that is like pretty amazing that they're doing with this is it's either cropped so well, or they have some insane angle on this, but you aren't seeing the projection on any other surface. It's not like, you know, there's all these like little sparkles and things that are like floating around, and you don't see those like on the back window. You don't see them on the ceiling. You don't see them in these other weird spots where you would normally see projections. And so if you look at some of these close-up videos, like, you can see they have like a fan or something blowing on the physical dress, and it moves. And then there's all this other stuff that's going around. The face is kind of weird if you sit it and look at it like in a freeze frame. It's kind of weird.
that part is the one that I was going to bring up and say that if there's really only one other criticism that I have is that the face looks pretty flat when you hit the turn right before it turns back to the Hatbox Ghost.
Because I think because the face is completely projection. So I think there's just like a flat screen there that the face is being projected upon.
Right. So there's a moment when you pass in front of it where the candelabra's pretty much in front of you, and so perspective-wise, it looks like a full bride that's floating, a full ghost apparition, right? But there's that slight turn that the Doom Buggy makes where you can see like the 3D space that the candelabra's in, where you can fully tell that the face is flat, and I think that's what throws it off. I think if it was like a molded face or something that they were projecting onto somehow, I think it would have added a little bit to the effect and would have made it a little less awkward when you make that slight turn before turning to the Hatbox Ghost.
Correct.
But yeah, I'm sorry, I cut you off. Go ahead.
No, that's okay. But the other thing that is really amazing is the flames on the candles are a projection effect.
Yeah.
But the candles themselves are not. It's insane how what this is done. And I mean, I'm looking at some of these comments too, and I've not seen too many bad ones, but I went on Reddit, and it says way better looking than the previous one. She looks so stoic, a drain of emotion from her several losses. She looks fantastic. The old bride looked like a prop you could buy at the Halloween store. This seems better. The Legend of King Arthur begins now. Experience the world of strategy RPG on Steam. Oh, wait a minute. That's an ad. Is the face projection? So some people seem to like it on this. The video comment, she does look much better. Great up close. I mean, I'm sure there's... I'm just not finding, all the good comments usually go to the top anyway. But it does seem a little divisive. This person says, finally a good close-up video of the bride. I can finally tell what's a projection and what's a physical prop. It's, projection has its time and its place. And I think this is probably some of the best executed projections we've seen in it, with this kind of effect. I think this is projection technology is a groundbreaking thing that is being done here, and I just don't think people realize it because it looks so effortless. I think that is some of the things. It's you do something that looks so good, but it looks just it fits in so well that people can just slam on it because the technology is so seamless that you're not you're not realizing what is actually going on here unless you're doing that. I'm analyzing frame by frame of this video.
Dude, so check this out. So there is an account on YouTube, Cordy and Callie. She got stuck on the mansion right past the post. Here, let me share this so you can check out what I'm looking at right now, because this is probably one of the best.
Wow.
Okay, so one, I didn't realize that the bride is blinking.
Yeah, I know. It's weird because it does a weird flash blink. I was looking at that in some of the videos too.
But from this angle, it doesn't look as flat.
Right.
No.
I mean, it's still I think it's a flattish face mask, and then the neck has some stuff. But it's still not. I don't think it's a completely I don't think there's a nose and stuff. But there could be it's hard to tell again in the videos. But it's again you can see all these floating particles and everything around the bride in the darkness that aren't, they're just floating
there's no
in
hard lines.
mid-air.
Mm-hmm.
And then the same thing with the candles. Look at how long the flames of the candles are and everything. And all this ethereal swooshing around that floats in the ether that is kind of you know, and they still have the beating heart and everything here. Like that, I think the beating heart might be inside sort of thing. It might be a projection. I don't know.
I have to tell you. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say that I honestly feel like this bride is an evolution of the first bride that we had, which was just pretty much a mannequin with a beating heart, and that's the only thing that we knew is just the beating heart that was like telling us, you know, it's scary, whatnot. We heard her heartbeat, but this one, it's just like how we were just looking at it and checking it out. It's just, there's, as I mentioned, there's no hard lines at all. Like you could see it being softened and how it kind of looks wispy and it's constantly moving. Even the background too. I honestly feel like this is awesome. Because there's more movement, it's more flowy, it's not static. Like she's moving. And I feel like people are just they want to be, you know, let them rip it apart, whatnot. But I honestly feel this is pretty awesome. And I don't think we have anything like this.
I'm leaving a like on this video. This is like the best one I've seen of this.
You also have to compare it to what was there before, which was a dummy.
Yeah.
Like with a sheet over it that they projected a person on. Like
that's it.
That is like the least amount of work anybody could do.
That's why people were saying that it looked like a Spirit Halloween thing.
The previous one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this one is like, there is definitely a lot of like work went into this. It's not like that was just like a dress form standing on the floor with a projector pointed at it. Like, and the effect like worked back in the day and whatever when it first came out. Like it was innovative for the time, but this is so far beyond that I don't understand where the controversy is, where the people are like getting at that Imagineering is, you know, lost it or whatever. I think this is just, you know, you can't put an animatronic everywhere. Like I would love it if an animatronic was everywhere. Like I would be the first person to be like, yes, please put an animatronic there. But sometimes there's constraints. There's budget constraints for one. There's space constraints and there's story constraints too. Like if you want to have like this ghost bride and you want to like have this technology that like really makes it looks like a ghost, this looks like a ghost. I don't know what to tell you. Like all the other animatronics in the graveyard, like the graveyard specifically, they look like animatronics with clear clothes on. Like it's, you go in and you believe it's a you know, you buy into it because it's a ride. But this is like a whole other level of what a ghost can look like at this point.
Yeah.
Like the Hatbox Ghost, for being the Hatbox Ghost, looks not like a ghost. It looks like a guy.
Yeah.
Like
it looks like a ghoul.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's Hatbox Ghost is not like, of all the animatronics, it's the best animatronic in the Haunted Mansion. But also does not look like any of the other ones where there's like doing all the clear clothes and the whatever to make him look like a ghost, like all the other ones do with the glow and everything.
Yeah.
So if you really want to get technical with the story of the Haunted Mansion and how things fit in with each other, like this bride is more ghosty than the Hatbox Ghost is.
Yeah.
I will just say that. And I love the Hatbox Ghost.
Yeah, it's funny too because I remember watching the new the new Haunted Mansion movie, and I remember thinking that the Hatbox Ghost didn't look as much like a ghost. He looks like a demon, basically.
Yeah.
He looks like he's a demon out
like
to
somewhere
claim souls.
in between.
Yeah. He doesn't just look like a generic ghost. Yeah, kind of. And this one, you are absolutely right. I think this one fully looks like a ghost. I think the way that it's set up, this video that we were just watching, I'm still playing it over here on the side, but I realize now as I'm looking at it that it does look like the face is being projected onto a flat surface and the dimension is from the projection and the way that it's shaded, or at the very least it's a little bit of
A bump, but yeah.
no features to define it. And that's probably because it's a lot more difficult to nail the projection every single time to define the nose and the chin and stuff like that. It's easier to have a more generic shape to project
Sure,
onto,
and
right?
also probably, I bet you more than anything, they tested every version of what they could do with the face and the this and that, and this is probably what looked the best, for going around the corners and da-da-da-da-da, because when you start doing that, like, side profile on a projection, like, think of, like, Buzz Lightyear, when you go around Buzz Lightyear and you get to the side and it's, like, black or nothing or whatever.
Good example.
Like, there's so many limits to technology, and if you're just going to complain because it's a projector, like, then that's... I don't know. Like, I get it. Like, I get it. But still, like, technology and everything has its limits. This is not a real ghost.
Yeah. But in this case, that limitation helps the effect, because if they're still running into the black brim that you would get, if you look at the veil, it's dark under the veil, right? So the black brim from the projection actually helps the definition of the face that's being projected onto the bride.
Yeah, the problem with this is I think this is some sort of front projection, because they, like, Buzz Lightyear is projected from inside. It was just a bad, example, whatever. But I'm sure they did plenty of tests on the shape of the face and da-da-da-da-da. This does not seem slapdash or thrown together in any way to me. Like, it looks like there's a lot of care put in, especially with, like, the effects. And so, I don't see the controversy here, or the the lack of imagination or whatever people are saying, but it's just a different thing in the mansion. I'll say this and I'll stop ranting about it, but just compare the two brides, the one that was there last year or the year before and the one that is there now. You cannot tell me that the bride that is there now looks worse than the bride that was there before. That I will put that challenge out to anybody. There's no way you can say that this new bride looks worse. It is an upgrade no matter what you say.
I'm going to piggyback and say I don't even think I could do this, so I can't complain about how it looks like. There's no way.
Yeah. You know what's funny about the old bride too, that I've seen a lot of photos, and I think I tried to do this with the photos that I took of the bride as well, is that in person, and I think this is why you were reserving, full, how you were feeling until you see it in person, right?
Right.
Because the camera, the lens will change what it looks like on video. Your eye will allow you to adjust to see the effect. And I think when Imagineering builds these illusions, and I don't know if they keep this in mind or if this is something that they've taken into consideration, for the most part, all of the illusions that have ever been built in the park, to me, feel like they were illusions that were meant to play with your eye and the adjustment your eye can make from dark to light, and how certain things will look as you're going through these attractions.
Sure.
They weren't thinking that the iPhone 16 was going to let you bump your ISO to 500,000 and you were going to be able to basically see in the dark with that thing. Right. And so you're able to see every single detail behind them, and you overblow the effect, and obviously it loses some of the effect because the camera is trying to compensate for the lack of light and what's happening around it, right?
A good example of that is in Rise of the Resistance, when the the thing where Kylo Ren walks to you and then the door closes.
Yeah.
They shine lights in your eyes, so your eyes dilate. Like, there's like white lights shining right at your face, so your eyes dilate, so you do not see some of the effect going on. Your eye, that is making your eyes so everything else around it looks darker because there's white light in your eyes, and it's screwing up your stuff. That is intentional to help that effect.
And so the cameras, because of the way that they function, especially if you have like a mirrorless camera or something, it's going to be able to compensate quickly, and it's going to adjust, essentially killing the effect for you. And so while watching attractions on YouTube is good if you can't go to the parks, if you're too far away, if you can't travel halfway across the world, it's great because you get to experience the attraction, but you won't get the experience of actually being on the attraction because of these nuances of how these attractions are built and how they are built to trick your eye into seeing something in that moment, right?
100%.
And the thing with the Old Bride is that I would bump up the brightness in some of the whites and the blues, and I would like add some a little bit of saturation to make sure that it looked good in the photograph, right?
Right.
But it didn't look like it did on the attraction
Exactly.
as we were riding it. And so that one did look just like a mannequin, and then this flat face that was always like
And also, I never
right?
really liked the like.
That was accurate. I don't care what you say. That was
I never
accurate.
really liked her little sayings and stuff. Like, I thought it was fine, but I never was a huge fan of the I do, I did and stuff. It seemed so hokey, like, compared to the rest of the ride, which is just pretty, like, you have Madame Leota doing a seance, the ghost host, and then a fun song.
Yeah.
And then also just this lady.
I am curious though. So remember when we first talked about this in the preview, we're like, when somebody breaks down, we're finally gonna get like a good, and that's what happened. So Cordy and Callie, check out the video. It's on YouTube. Best video so far because it's just there, right? Like we got to see the effect and really dissect it. I want to see what this is going to look like when the projection fails on the face. Because like Mel said, it's going to be like the original Bride with that super dark face and that like glowing heart. It looks so like that's what nightmares were made of.
Yeah.
Right? When you would see that original Bride with just the like nothing there, that's like Hatbox Ghost material right there. If her face appears behind her on the wall one day, like now you know they're competing with Hattie. They're going to give her a little like, she's going to be the Veil Bride. Veil Box Bride. I don't know. We'll give her a name if that ever happens. But that's the next video that I want to see of the Bride when the projection fails. And I'm not saying that in any way to be demeaning to the effect. Like now that I'm seeing this side video, I appreciate this effect so much more. I love what they're doing and what they did with it. I really do hope that we can get some different animations, maybe for Haunted Mansion Holiday in 2027, since in 2026, since this year 2025 it's going to Walt Disney World. We've already determined that. If we can get different animations for the Bride. I think it'll be great.
You're lucky because I can't talk.
It looks like I'm looking up some videos of like, because this one's like called like Haunted Mansion Bride Controversy Explained, and I guess a lot of people are up in arms because of something Kim Irvine said to the Los Angeles Times in that video, where she says the bride used to be, and there was an axe murder, and in this day and age we have to be really careful about the sensitivities of people. We're celebrating someone chopping off her husband's head, and it was a weird story. I know the fans, some will like it and some will say, oh, you've changed something again. That's our job. That's what we're here for. And, then it goes on to like the comments in the thing and like, blah, blah, blah. I hope you don't set your expectations high for Villains Land. How about stop changing things because blah, blah. People are just like, how incredibly... It's all just like people that, take a lot of things out of context. And also, this is a big, giant company who has to play to hundreds of thousands of people that visit their parks and blah, blah, blah. Also, it's better. I'll just tell you it's better. Yeah. It's a better effect, so stop complaining, everybody.
I'm going to leave it at that. I was going to say more, but I like ending on that one.
It's better.
It is.
And I haven't even seen it in person yet.
Seriously. I'm telling you, if there's one thing that drags me back to the park sooner or later, it's just going to be this. I don't care if I do anything else. Just this.
Sure.
That's it. And I want to get stuck there for 5 minutes while they load somebody up. And they tell me to just please remain seated. Anyway, Got a couple of other Haunted Mansion related videos that I want to show you. This was the thing that we were talking about in the chat, that DIY. But before we do, I want to take a quick moment to remind you that this episode of Podketeers is brought to you by a fantastic group of listeners and watchers known as the FGP Squad, our podcast Fairy Godparents, because it is their support via Patreon that help makes these episodes of Podketeers possible. If you want more information on how you can become part of the FGP Squad family, we invite you to go to podketeers.com/FGP. There you will find a link to our Patreon, some information about what the FGP Squad is all about, some of our top contributors, and if you have any questions, of course, you can always reach out to us. We'll be happy to answer any questions you might have. But being part of the FGP Squad family gets you some additional perks, like access to additional content we've uploaded to Patreon, a special section of our Discord, gifts that I randomly send out, discount codes for new Podketeers gear, and access to did I mention the happy hour calls that we're gonna try to get going again really soon? If I haven't, those are gonna get going soon again, so looking forward to starting that up again. But yeah, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us. We'll be happy to answer any of those questions. And of course, to all of the members of the FGP Squad, we just want to send a huge thank you for your continued support. And since we're talking about links, I mentioned it earlier, but just want to mention it again. Podketeers.com/links is where you want to go if you want access to some of our most requested links, including our latest episode, the Disneyland playlist. Of course, the links to help any of the fire victims here in California are also going to be listed there on that page. You'll find a link to our Discord community. So if you want to join us and talk about anything we say in the episodes, if you want to talk about donuts and what your favorite donut is, leave it over on Discord. Let's talk about our favorite donuts, talk about our favorite churros, any of that stuff. You'll find a link to the FGP Squad if you want to become a member. Any fundraisers that we're currently running with our official charity team, Teamboat Willie, will also be listed on there. You'll find a link to our YouTube channel and our pal Larry's channel, Goofy Guys Adventures, on the page, and of course a link to our Armchair Imagineering playlist. So podketeers.com/links. Again, I would recommend just, putting a little shortcut icon on your home screen or something so that you can have easy access to it. But yeah, let's get back to the podcast and wrap this thing up for today. So we had this video. Who posted this? Mel, right? You sent this originally to us?
I sent the Instagram, and then you had the YouTube link.
Right. So it's funny because just as you sent it, I was watching it on YouTube. And so I thought it was awesome. Quick story about this. I'm going to bring up this video so you can see what we're talking about here. Share our screen. Ba-da-ba-bum. So it's this video on YouTube. They go by DIY Light Guy, and it's this how I made this Madame Leota crystal ball prop. I met this dude.
What?
I met him at D23. I didn't recognize him at first, and it wasn't until I saw the video again that I realized he's the guy that made that lit up pirate ship. Like he had like a scooter that made the pirate ship.
Right.
The
he
one
had
that the smoke in the back.
Yes.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
And I think the video Melissa sent, he said he has a Doom Buggy one. I think I've seen the video of the Doom Buggy.
The Doom Buggy one is the one that Bob Gurr saw that he was like driving outside on his driveway.
Oh my
So it's
goodness.
the same guy.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So I'm not going to play the audio. I'm just going to... He doesn't have the whole thing on here. But what he does is he takes this projection, like...
It's like a video
thing.
mask or something.
Yeah. But what he ends up doing is he removes the module from inside. Here, we'll see if we can... Because this is just a lot of unscrewing pieces here.
Right.
It's when he gets... There you go.
So
up close.
He finds that it's a little projector, and once he unscrews it, he realizes that he can manipulate the video that's on here. Like there's like a little USB port that he can hook it up to his computer. He's able to put the Madame Leota video on there. Now this is only part one of it. I think this is going to be a much longer series where he's going to show you how he did the whole thing. But if you're into DIYing your Halloween props, if you are into just creating things for cosplay or anything like that, or if you just want
Tinkering,
something fun to do,
Yeah.
if you just want something fun to do, this is I definitely recommend checking him out at he's DIY Light Guy on YouTube. Oh, what was his? Is that also his Instagram? I want to go back to our text message here. What we were.
I'm not sure.
Let me see if I can quickly find him while this video is playing.
So in his video, he's really, really clear on his instructions. Like, I didn't know
It's the
what
same
certain things
on
was,
It
and
is
I'm
the
like,
same one.
Instagram. Yeah.
I'm learning.
Yeah, this
appreciate
is
him.
so cool. I love when people get creative with stuff like this. And you know what's funny? I had watched another video by somebody that we've talked about before as well. So before I switch over, again, DIY Like Guy, make sure that you go check him out. I'm going to switch over to this one because these guys may look familiar. Van Oaks Props. They are the company or the channel that had made the Haunted Mansion door
Yep.
that I started to try to replicate. Have I gotten far? No. I have the pieces ready to print. I just haven't had time to do any of the printing, but I do have the pieces, and I am going to try to print the door frame at one point. But
Full size?
Yeah, I'm going to actually make it my
do
door
it for
that
your
enters
door?
into this room. Yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
That's my goal with it. But they do the same thing. It's slightly different, though, because they build a lot of the structure, and they did it with slightly different materials.
so
but
cool.
it was a very similar idea, right? Like the only
there's
difference
a-
between this is that they didn't have the pre-made projector on like
Yeah.
the modeled face that that the
So
other
it looks
gentleman
like
started
what they
with.
did is they did a mirror. Is that's what it looks like? So the projector is down below.
Yeah, and it's
And then
bouncing up at an angle.
It angles into the head.
Still looks good though.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the bride before. Look, exact face.
Right.
This was the last one.
I don't know. I think that's better than the bride before because it has some dimension. The bride before was just a projection on a sheet.
Oh man!
Or
But
a
yeah,
veil,
Van Oaks
excuse
Props. Another great channel if you're into tinkering and DIYing.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean,
There's so
it's-
many.
Yeah, it's projectors are funny. Like you can do. It's just like you can get so small projectors now. I mean, like that guy got like in that mask. It's just a ultra super fisheye lens or whatever. It's amazing with like what you can do.
Well, I haven't talked a lot about it. I think I may have told you guys, and I may have teased it on an episode some time ago. But one of my goals at some point this year is I wanted to kind of move some stuff around in here so I had a little bit more space, and I've been donating a bunch of stuff, and anyway, when I restructure how I sit and how I have the shelf, my goal is to have it behind me. And one of the things I want to do, and I might even do it in the current way that I have the setup happening right now if I could do it, but my goal is a few years ago, I started following a creator, which I've talked about on the podcast before. His name is Alex. He created like a 3D projected castle, and he uses videos of fireworks shows from YouTube to project onto the castle. And because of the depth that the 3D printed castle creates, it looks like a tiny little hub, little Disneyland hub, like happening, like with the castle. And I don't like in my heart, like I see his videos and they bring me so much joy to see that I wanted to do it. And I always told myself that if I ever had the access to a 3D printer, or if I could do it, that's one of the projects I wanted to do. And TikTok Shop knows that I want to do it because it keeps throwing those like, hey, there's this $30 projector. And I know $30 projectors aren't going to give me the absolute best quality.
But it's a start.
But it's a start, right?
Right.
And it'll give me at least something to play with and kind of learn what I'm doing and everything. And the barrier, like the cost of entry isn't going to be like this crazy amount. So that's on my project list for some point in the next... I'm going to give myself a goal to try to do it by June.
All right.
And because if I don't do that, I think it's gonna fall off the radar for me. Like that happens a lot. Like new things
How
come
about,
on,
hey,
and then I forget.
I got a better thing. How about Disneyland's 70th birthday?
That's next year, right?
That's this year. That's
Oh, that's May.
That's July 17th.
No, but the celebration.
No,
Are we talking celebration kickoff?
No, the birthday.
Or are we talking about the actual birthday
day.
in July?
Yes, the actual birthday in July. That gives you
Okay.
On the the 70th anniversary day. You can show it off. By then, you can show it off.
Okay.
By July 17th, 2025.
But if I get it done before, I will show it off before.
Yeah, but
Okay, that
I
is the
think
goal.
that's a good goal. Is July
Okay.
17th.
I like that. And it gives me a good buffer to work with
There you
because
go.
then I won't feel the pressure of having to like move all this stuff and figure out where a lot of this is going to go because
It gives you an
I got a
extra
lot of
month.
stuff. Yeah. All right. We'll go with that one. Thank you. Let's see. So yeah, super cool DIY stuff. I think we ended up talking about the mansion way more than I thought we were going to this episode. But it was fun. I like being able to dissect attractions like that. And this one, that video that we saw of, stopped in the mansion, I think, again, one of the best ones we've seen so far to help us do that and the effects. So let's see. Oh, the big news that I was talking about earlier in the episode is that Ken Potrock is no longer the president of Disneyland. I don't know how we're going to clickbait article name that one for the episode, but it looks like there was a little bit of
Disneyland president ousted.
Yes, that's it. That'll be it. I know that's not what's happening. It looks like there was a little bit of some people moving up in the company
moving up,
and getting
yeah.
different positions and stuff like that. It looks like it's a good thing.
They made him a new position that wasn't there before.
Yeah, and
Oh, wow.
if you could talk about it a little bit, that would be great.
So
actually.
I just brought up this article. It says he's the president of major events integration for the Walt Disney Company. Excuse me. He oversees the company's holistic engagement in key sports, entertainment, and tourism events in California and across the United States. He leverages the expansive Disney ecosystem in support of these events, which drive value for the business, the communities in which Disney operates, and the sports and tourism industries overall. Upcoming tentpole events include the Los Angeles 2028 Summer Olympics, the 2027 Super Bowl in Los Angeles on ESPN, the 2026 FIFA World Cup in Los Angeles, the NBA All-Star Game, and the celebration of the nation's 250th anniversary. So that's it. Basically, they're like, we got a bunch of big ol' events coming up, and we need somebody that can do big ol' events. And apparently that was Ken Potrock. So I mean, congratulations to him. Like, he seems to have been good for Disneyland. He's started Disneyland in 2015. Or no, is it in 2015? Is that when he started at Disneyland? Somewhere around there.
I don't remember. I know at this point he's been there longer. Rebecca Campbell wasn't there as long, but he took over for Rebecca.
It might have been 2016 or 17 because it was.
That sounds
It says in
about
2015,
right.
Ken oversaw the expansion and reimagining of Disney Springs at Walt Disney World. Before that, he was senior vice president of Disney Sports Enterprises, where he led a rebranding expansion of ESPN Wide World of Sports. Blah blah blah. He also held executive leadership roles at Disney Vacation Club, the company's vacation ownership program, Golden Oak, a luxury community, and Adventures by Disney. He started in 1995 as vice president of marketing for Disney Cruise Line.
Yeah.
So yeah.
There was also a profile posted for the new president of Disneyland, Thomas Maslum. This was actually posted on the Disney Connect site, the Disney Experience.
That's where I'm
site,
reading
basically.
the Ken Potrock one.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So, Thomas Maslum, we're going to have to give him a cool nickname. I want to call him like T-Maz.
That's kind of like T-Boz from
yeah, but it's like T-Maz.
From what is that? That's a TLC.
TLC?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Instead of T-Boz, he's
T-Maz.
T-Maz. That's good. Good old T-Maz.
Yeah. But let's see. His profile on here reads, as president of Disneyland Resort, Thomas Maslom leads 36,000 cast members in all facets of the business, including Disneyland and Disney California Adventure theme parks, 3 resort hotels, and the downtown Disney district. He will guide the resort during an exciting time of growth, overseeing its 70th anniversary celebration that kicks off in 2025 and shepherding Disneyland forward, which will unlock opportunities for expansion and investment in Anaheim for the next 40 years. Most recently, Thomas was president of Disney Signature Experiences, leading key growth businesses, including Disney Cruise Line. Under Thomas's leadership, the company's cruise business reached new heights, securing investments and development plans to double the fleet size by 2031, building a second island destination in the Bahamas, and sailing to new ports of call around the world. As president of Disney Signature Experiences, Thomas also oversaw Disney Vacation Club, the company's vacation ownership program, Adventures by Disney, and National Geographic Expeditions, the company's guided group travel businesses. Golden Oak, a luxury community of custom homes at Walt Disney World Resort, Aulani, a Disney resort and spa, Disney Institute, which celebrates advancement and exploration through engaging and enriching programming, and Story Living by Disney, master plan communities that highlight the attention to detail, unique amenities, and special touches that are Disney hallmarks. Which, by the way, we have to go back and touch on that Story Living by Disney, because we talked about the development last year, but I haven't really heard anything about it. We're going to have to look into where they are on all of that.
I don't know. Seems boring, but that's just me.
Well, I think we'll look into it. Let's see. This goes on to say, prior to that role, Thomas served as Senior Vice President of Operations at the Walt Disney World Resort, overseeing 31 Disney Resort hotels, as well as Disney Springs, ESPN Worldwide of Sports and Transportation Operations. Thomas began his Disney career in 1998 as a hotel director for Disney Cruise Line, and later served as general manager of food and beverage and special events at Epcot. Before returning to Disney in 2017, he served as the chief operating officer for Crystal Cruise Line. He was born in Austria, earned his degree in hotel management and administration, a bunch of other stuff about where he went to school and stuff. So, yeah, congratulations, Thomas Maslom. On your new role here with the Disney company.
Josh Left Eye tomorrow, and
Left Eye tomorrow. Who's gonna be Chili? Can we get Chili from Bluey? And it'll just be like and Chili. That'll be so funny.
Who could be Chili? I don't know. Bob Chiliger.
Bob Chiliger. Let's revisit who Chili can be.
I don't know. I like Josh Left Eye tomorrow.
All right. Well, that's going to wrap it up for the week. What do you say?
Fine by me.
We're going to leave it there with Josh Left Eye tomorrow.
Yep.
T-Maz.
Or as Deadpool calls him, Joshua. We just had Quizneyland, so we got another one coming up next week. There's a surprise in this Quizneyland that was caught later on. If anybody catches it, let us know. See if we can catch what it is.
You can catch what the surprise is. This is a surprise in quotes. Surprise. Let me know if you notice anything.
It's still fun surprise.
It's a fun surprise. It's not like a bad thing.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like how did I not catch that? So whatever.
So yeah, that's gonna wrap it up. Any closing words? Should we rant about the bride a little bit more?
Oh, you want to rant? Okay, so no, just kidding.
That's it. I'm tired of this, Grandpa. All right, that's it. Until next time, keep dreaming, keep moving forward, and always remember to pass on the magic. Have a fantastic week, everyone.
Bye.
See ya.